More than 200 wealthy, largely unnamed investors are heading to Washington for dinner with the president tonight, raising new concerns over the wealthy buying access to Donald Trump. In total, they spent $394 million on Trump cryptocurrency tokens in exchange for an invitation to Trump National Golf Course in D.C. to see the president. As NBC News has learned, that's nearly $2 million each, more than 500 times the federal election contribution limit. Those numbers based on an analysis by blockchain analytics company Nansen. Joining us now, Drew Harwell, technology reporter at The Washington Post. What more do we know about this event, Drew, and who will be attending?
Well, we know that it's a lot of anonymous people. These are really wealthy crypto holders from all around the world. I've talked to some from Singapore and Southeast Asia, and they're coming into this country with the hopes that they can talk to the president themselves, hope to lobby him on their preferred crypto policies. And they feel like, they've given a lot of money to the president, so they're excited to have his ear. Most of them are foreign. As far as our analysis has been able to find, 19 of the top 25 got their coins through exchanges that don't even work with Americans. These are foreign exchanges. So I think that raises a question because, if these foreign spenders were to donate to a political candidate in the U.S., it would be forbidden. And yet they can give money to the president pretty openly, as we've seen here.
Yeah, help us understand that, because my recollection of it is that foreign nationals can't make political contributions, right?
Yeah, they can, but that's in a campaign environment. This is a meme coin environment. This is crypto. Crypto is very widely unregulated. It's the Wild West. You've seen people on Democrats and Republicans saying there needs to be more rules, but until that point, we have basically a coin that an affiliate of the Trump organization, Trump's family business, created. They make the coins, they sell the coins, and they profit from the coins. We know that the Trump team that has worked on this has made millions in transaction fees and sales of this coin. So this is money going directly into the pocket of a company that's tied to the president. Right now is owned by a trust that's run by the president's adult sons, but is basically one step away from the Oval Office.
We know Trump has embraced crypto, including signing an executive order to create a Federal Reserve of Bitcoin, other digital currencies. What does his support mean for this growing tech, and frankly, a tech that a lot of people don't even understand?
Yeah, well, they love it. I mean, the crypto industry felt that the Biden administration was too tough. They felt like they were finally going to see regulations after many years of basically policing themselves and really not policing themselves all that well. So, and Trump himself even years ago said he felt that Bitcoin was kind of a scam. He felt that it was not money. He felt that the prices were basically concocted out of thin air. And yet in the last year, because, as sort of affiliated with that idea that these crypto people have started supporting him, we saw during the campaign, Trump would go to Bitcoin events and campaign events with deep-pocketed crypto holders. So, he's really created a close, familiar relationship with a lot of these people, and they are paying him back through, tens of millions of dollars in investments, and not just this meme coin, but another crypto venture that Trump is involved with called World Liberty Financial. So, the crypto people are investing money, seeing him as a friendly face in the White House, and Trump is benefiting too by having these people on his side. So I think it suggests that crypto is going to have a nice, warm welcome in Washington. We've already seen under the Trump administration that the Department of Justice has basically directed prosecutors to not investigate a certain amount of cryptocurrency crime. And even one of these top investors in the meme coin is a guy named Justin Sun, who's a Chinese crypto billionaire. He was under investigation by the SEC dating back to 2023, but now the SEC has basically called to freeze that case. So you're just seeing a really close bind between the crypto industry and the president himself and all of his business allies.
Drew Harwell, thanks for coming on the show.